What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to do a final comparison of the FansToys Dibots with the Gigapower Gigasaurs, both versions of G1 Masterpiece Scale Dinobots. So if you've been following my channel, I have done individual comparisons on each of these robots. Those are in a playlist. I'm going to actually link those from this video, as well as I'm going to put info cards, which I never do, in the video as we go along. So if you're interested in looking at those comparisons, you can do that. But really, this video is all about final thoughts on these two sets. So I am going to go back through the individual videos and grab the scores from each of these. Most of the scores have not changed. My thinking on these and my overall thoughts hasn't really changed since I first got these. I do want to give a shout out and a thank you to Mr. G. Tony. He helped me acquire most, if not all of these. I believe the only one that I acquired myself is the Gigapower version of Grimlock. All of the rest were either supplied or purchased in part by Mr. G. Tony. So thank you so much for helping me get here. I am planning to probably keep both of these, I think. I haven't decided still. I still like them both. So for now, I am not getting rid of either of these. So no matter the results of this comparison, they're both staying in my collection in one way or another. So without further ado, let's get started with the final comparison. We're going to start from our left and work the way to the right. And we're going to talk about each individual robot. I'm going to bring up the final scores comparisons from these comparison videos. So let's start off with Snarl on the left. So there you have on the screen the final score for the Sever versus Gutter comparison. And this one was a tie, but that really shows you right off the gate that Gigapower did a great job on these. They were no slouch. Both sets really good. I think there's actually a couple like this, very close or even tied. Me personally, my personal feelings is this version of the FansToys version of Sever, really, really nicely done. It's probably one of their best ever versions of any robot. They just did such a good job on it. Now Gigapower came along and made it bigger, made it badder, shinier. It's really hard to say that one is better than the other. Next we have FansToys Scoria versus Gigapower Gigasaurs, and this was a blowout. The Gigapower, and in this comparison you can see it was actually the specially painted version. Here in this review I'm looking at the standard metallic or chrome version. But either way, whether you're talking about that one or this one, the Gigapower version of Slag is far superior. It's got better joints, it's got, you can see in the score there, better accessories, better sculpt, a better build quality, better articulation, better transformation, and alt mode, all obviously in my opinion. So this point is going to go overall to Gigapower. And I stand by that. Even after months and months of doing this review, I still believe that the Gigapower Slag is superior. Alright, next we'll talk about the versions of Grimlock, which FansToys is called Grinder and Gigapower is called Super Tour. And you can see the score there. And in this one, FansToys did win. And I actually still to this day prefer the FansToys version personally for my collection. However, the reissue of Gigapower really is amazingly done. If I had to go back, this is the one I'd probably go back and rectify this review. So the Gigapower lost points here on build quality, but the new version, the reissue that I just picked up in 2021, seems to have been improved. There's several things that have been improved. I talk about it in that review, the reissue review. So if you're interested, you can go back and watch that reissue review. So I would change that point over either to a tie or to Gigapower. Either way, that would bring this entire comparison to a tie. So both of them really, really well done versions of Grimlock. In this case, the score would change to a 5 to 5. So I guess it really depends what you're looking for. The FansToys has a more pronounced shape, especially in the chest, whereas the Gigapower is kind of a little bit more even in their sculpt. Now it is kind of bulky and bulbous, but some people want that out of their Grimlock. But either way, I'm going to give this one a tie as well. Initially, I had given it to FansToys, but at this point, based on the reissue quality, build quality, I'm going to give it a tie. All right, next we'll take a look at the FansToys Swoop versus the Gigapower Gigasaurs. And this one was another blowout for Gigapower. Just overall a better robot. In terms of my scores, better accessories, better sculpt, better paint, better build quality, better articulation, transformation was a tie, better engineering, and better alt mode. So that is quite a blowout. I'm not sure why it just felt like the FansToys really was lacking on this particular figure. And I still stand by that today, so we're going to give this point on Swoop over to Gigapower. And finally, we have the FansToys Stomp versus the Gigapower Gravitator. And in this one, FansToys lost pretty easily. Now, I wasn't expecting this because the FansToys Stomp is really, really good. But just at every turn, the Gigapower was beating them ever so slightly. So don't take this score to mean that the FansToys is no good. It's just that in every category, Gigapower eked them out. So we're going to give this point over to Gigapower. So final thoughts on the FansToys versus Gigapower Dinobots. You can see I've transformed them into their dyno modes. You're welcome. This took a while to get to this point. But I figured it'd be great to see the entire set, both sets, in their dyno modes and their robot modes so that you can kind of look for yourself and decide what you like. So as you can see, the score there, as throughout my versus series, the Gigapower is going to take it 3-0. They tied on Snarl and Grimlock, and Gigapower won on Slag, Swoop, and Sludge. That's not the whole story, though. There really is, it comes down to preference. It comes down to your collection and the aesthetic you're looking for. So if you want a larger set of Dinobots, a little bit more just imposing, you know, even the sculpt of these guys is more imposing, larger, just more bulky. And they're painted really, really well. If you want that kind of set, then I would go Gigapower. If you want a smaller, more cartoon accurate looking, kind of fits in better with the current modern day Masterpiece collection, then I would go with FansToys. You can't really go wrong with either one of these. They both do a really good job displaying them together as a set of 5 Dinobots, whether they're in dyno mode or robot mode. Or if you can afford to have both, then great, you could have both, one in robot, one in dyno mode. Me personally, I prefer the FansToys set to be in my G1 Masterpiece collection, just because they fit in a little bit better. But these guys would probably go good on their own shelf, kind of just displayed on their own. A really nice set to look at. Probably make even a shepherd's shelf. I haven't decided yet where he's going to go. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and this helped you make a decision which direction you want to go with your Dinobots. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.